My name is Kunio TOKUOKA. How do you do? I'm running the Japanese cuisine restaurant. We have 3 restaurants in Kyoto and Nagoya and Hokkaido. We have other restaurants. In the computer and the Japanese cuisine, how can I connect those? So it's very difficult to connect. Actually, in 1990, as a turning point, the bubble economy ruptured. The value systems has been very much changed. The PCs, internet, being much disseminated, and the value system has been changed, and the speed becomes to be much higher, faster. The volume of the globe is just the same, but as a feeling, it seems to be smaller. And maybe the traditional restaurant, it seems to be not necessary. As Akasaka in Tokyo, there is a venue where the many restaurants there, but the sceneries has been very much changed. The many restaurants closed. So Kitcho is a famous traditional restaurant, but seems to be not necessary in the coming years. And that was a feeling I had in 1990. But our restaurant established in 1930, and for 60 years, for celebrating the 60th anniversary as a human being, we celebrated, and likewise the restaurant they kept for 60 years. So this is indeed a very important turning point. So we thought we have to reconsider the existence of the restaurant, and how can we express the new value system through the cuisine. I thought about the Teiichi Yuki is a founder, my grandfather, and we reflect back the history. What was the environment when the restaurant was established first? And so I retrieved the historical information, and I tried to feel what happened in those days. In 1930, it was established, and in 1939, according to the history, the record became to be the incorporation. The restaurant became to be incorporated. So 1945 is the end of the war. So even within the turmoil of the wars, and much the gaps are there among the different the layers of the society. But in 1939, the restaurant became to be incorporated company. So I wondered why this was done. In 1937, according to the record, he entered Omote Senke, the tea ceremony school. And at the tea world, what happened at that time, I also researched it. That is indeed a socializing the place, field for the leading people. Mr. Yamamoto of Asahi Beer, Ichizo Kobayashi of the Hankyu Railroad Company. So those are very, and Matsunaga is the founder of the power generation company, and those the leaders were there. But my grandfather was at that time only 30 years old or so, and I wonder why he entered that the socializing group. And I also searched the history at the time of the Rikyu Hideyoshi, many centuries ago. So what was the relationships? One side, there are the leaders, the national leaders, and the merchant, the Rikyu, encountered each other. And they had relationships, and the Yamamoto and the Teiji, they had similar relationships in 1930s. So the tea ceremony room is indeed an important venue for the people to encounter, and with the manual there is the formalities and manners for tea ceremonies. So the rankings in the society or how rich you are, and those are nothing important, but you can create the brand new trust and reliability among the different type of the people. And so in that arena, he learned a lot from Yamamoto and Kobayashi. And maybe they recommended him to make the restaurant up to the incorporation. And in 1940s, he moved to Tokyo. And that was 3 years before the Olympic Games. So and also the seeking for the world as a market, and he was very aggressive in marketing activities, giving the mottos and the messages on the matchboxes for advertisement. So I discovered that in 1990 I was struggling, but based on those records, I discovered that, and they put much emphasis on the relationship between person and person, and that is indeed the essence of the existence of the restaurant. So we have to provide that occasion, and otherwise the restaurant will be extincted. And I made many failures with the difficulties, and finally I found out my lack of capacity and ability, but I couldn't stop it. So what I did is that try to recruit the excellent people. So via internet, I try to recruit the people and collect information, retrieve data. I did. So the Japanese restaurant is a very vague existence and covered with the fog. So that seems to be a better restaurant, but actually the transparency, accountability was very important in those days, and we have to really open our information. So the sales and marketing people are working very hard, but the culture within the company cannot come up with that. So internet was indeed a very, very useful tool for us to make marketings and to make sales activities. So in 2000, in the worldwide events, we participate, and also the catering services we have started. So in order to get the information, of course I cannot visit the abroad so often, so I use the internet for getting information. So those information from the internet, there is a doubt of reliability, trustability, credibility. So it's indeed difficult. So the utensils and size of the kitchens, and it's up to the location and the market. you have to visit the local market and come up with a recipe once again. And overnight, we come up with a recipe and create our cuisine in the locality in other countries. And 2010 is this year. And Lehman shock attacked the economy. And in Singapore, they are very, very active now. And Sentosa Island, and there is a casino resort area, and we were invited. So the 1st of May this year, we're going to open the restaurant, and we communicate via internet. And publicities will be done via internet, and PR activities are also done on the internet. So I visited many different countries, and I thought the Japanese cuisine is really the different culture from in the other countries. We are island, and also they secluded from other countries during Edo period. So our common sense is oftentimes different in the sense in other countries. On the contrary, we have that uniqueness, and the visual perspective is quite different. So compared with other countries, the information will be given on the news internet, because very much the visual information reach the media, I believe. So that is all for my presentation. Thank you very much, and I'd like to learn more from this seminar.